So in Index 103, which is on business combinations. So first of all, let's understand what is the meaning of business combination. So whenever a businesses, simple definition of business combination is whenever there is any kind of combination happening in case of a business, that is referred as business combination. So you got a merger, amalgamation, acquisition, slump sale, and things like that. Now these are all examples of business combinations as per Ind AS 103. So that means what? That means such business combinations will need to be recorded or accounted for in the books of the business in a different manner. And please also understand the logic of Ind AS 103, which is on business combination. The logic is same as we discussed earlier. The logic and the purpose.
सर ऑडियो बंद था सर, हम लोगों ने कुछ नहीं सुना सर।
Everyone, no one could hear me or?
नहीं सर, अभी बार आपका आवाज है।
अच्छा, okay.
अभी आ रहा है।
Okay, fine. All right, okay, good. No worries. Okay, so business combination simply means when you have restructuring of businesses happening through different forms. So merger, amalgamation, acquisition, takeover, slump sale. Now these are all example of business combination. Now what is the purpose of Ind AS 103, which is on business combination? The purpose of Ind AS 103 is same as of all the other indices that we have. Purpose of Ind AS 103 is same as that we discussed in the context of Ind AS 36, which is on impairment of assets. So what is the purpose? The purpose of business combination is that the business combinations which are happening in a business, they must be recorded in the financial statements in a manner so that the user of the financial statements is able to take well informed decision, and that is the purpose of Ind AS 103 on business combination. And I think somebody's microphone is on. Can you please mute yourself? Okay, thank you. So that is the purpose. Now in case of business combination, as you can understand, obviously what is happening is the assets are getting transferred. So the transferor company's assets are getting transferred to the transferee companies, and obviously when these assets are getting transferred, or when the assets are being acquired by a transferee company from the transferor company, now these assets will need to be accounted for in the books at the fair value. And that means what? That means the moment you have the question of fair value coming in, the need for the valuation automatically comes in. So now when we talk about Ind AS 103 on business combination, there is something that we need to understand, and that is purchase price allocation. Purchase price allocation. Now what does it mean? It means, let's say for example, ABC Limited is a transferor company. ABC Limited is a transferor company, and XYZ Limited is a transferee company. ABC Limited is getting merged into XYZ Limited, which is the transferee company. So obviously for this merger, there is a price consideration agreed between the transferee company and the transferor company. And let's say for example that consideration is 100 crore. So that consideration is 100 crore, and all the assets and the liabilities of the transferee company, which is ABC Limited, are coming to XYZ Limited, and the consideration is 100 crore, and let's say for example that consideration is paid in cash. Now all the assets and the liabilities of ABC Limited, when they are coming to XYZ Limited, all these assets and liabilities will need to be fair valued. And why they will need to be fair valued? Because this amount of 100 crore which is being paid, the price of 100 crore which is being paid will need to be allocated on all the assets which are being received from the ABC Limited. And this process of allocating the purchase price on the assets which are coming to the transferee company is known as purchase price allocation. Now, how does it happen? How does it happen? So first of all, let's say the fair value of the liabilities, which is okay. So let's start with the assets. So what you have? So first of all, you have the fixed assets and you have the current assets. So what will need to be done? All the fixed assets which are coming as part of this entity, as part of this transaction. So all those fixed assets will need to be fair valued. And that means what? That means all those fixed assets are fair valued, and the amount of the fair value of all those fixed assets, let's say, is 40 crore, right? So what you do? So out of 100 crore purchase price consideration that XYZ Limited has paid to ABC Limited, 40 crore is accounted for the fixed assets. So now what remains is 60 crore. So now what you do? Now you do the fair valuation of the current assets which has come as part of the acquisition. So let's say the value of the current assets is coming to 10 crore. So out of 100 crore, 40 crore is allocated to the fixed assets, 10 crore is accounted to the current assets. Now what remains is 50 crore. Now what you will need to do, what you also have got as part of this transaction are the intangible assets. So the fixed assets and the current assets that you have got are the tangible assets. Now other than the tangible assets, you may also get as part of this transaction intangible assets. And now please remember something very interesting about the intangible assets. Intangible assets, some of them may be there on the balance sheet of the transferor company. Some of the intangibles may not be there on the balance sheet of transferor companies. So what you do? First of all, you try and find out which are the intangible assets reflecting on the balance sheet of the transferor company. No big deal, because all the intangible assets which the transferor company may have owned are already reflecting on the balance sheet, right? So you do the fair valuation of those intangible assets, arrive at a figure. So you do the valuation, and let's say you come to a figure of these intangible assets. You come to a fair value of these intangible assets which are appearing on the balance sheet of the company as 10 crore. So what you have? So out of 100 crore price, 40 crore went for the fixed assets, 10 crore went for the current assets, so 50 crore gone there. 10 crore is the fair value of intangible assets which are reflecting on the balance sheet of ABC Limited. So now 60 crore gone. What is remaining in your hand now is 40 crore. Now what you do? Now you also, as a transferee company, you also try and find out, are there any intangible assets which are coming to the transferee company from the transferor company, but these intangibles are not reflecting on the balance sheet of the transferor company. Now what it can be? See, first of all, the brand of that ABC Limited itself can be such a intangible asset which is not reflecting on the balance sheet of the transferor company. Obviously, because what will appear in the books of a company as an intangible is only an asset for which the company has paid. So if ABC Limited has a brand value which it has created for itself over the years, now this brand value will not reflect in the balance sheet of ABC for the simple reason ABC has never paid for it. It has just got created. But when ABC is getting transferred to XYZ Limited, now XYZ Limited is getting this brand. So XYZ will do the valuation of this brand and whatever other intangibles may be. So that is an exercise that will need to be done as part of the whole exercise. So let's say the brand value of ABC as such is coming to 20 crore. So 40 crores allocated to fixed assets, 10 crore allocated to the current assets, 10 crore allocated to the intangibles reflecting on the balance sheet, 20 crore allocated to the brand value of ABC. So 80 crore of the price of 100 crore is allocated to these assets. Now what you have, now what is remaining is 20 crore. So what you do with this 20 crore? This 20 crore will be recorded in the books of the company as goodwill. And this is how the goodwill creation happens. So this is your process of purchase price allocation. In case if you have any question, please ask me.